Welcome, everybody, to another episode of On the Range podcast with Hogg Tactical and Kelley Defense. I am one of your hosts, Mark Kelley, joined as always with my co-host and friend, Rick Hogg. How's it going today, buddy?
Man, Mark, it is going great. We've got some badass music going on in the background. Just want to thank the viewers. Yeah, man, it's awesome. Just want to thank the viewers listening out there for giving us your most precious commodity, your time to tune in to On the Range podcast. Appreciate it, guys. Do us a huge favor if you would. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Leave us a rating review on whatever platform. We're slowly getting the numbers there, but really we can use the boost. Share the podcast with your friends, with your family, all that other stuff. And oh, by the way, if you want to support and you like the show, you can go to patreon.com/On the Range podcast. Early access to all the shows. Not only will we get that, you'll get a behind-the-scene vlog of different events. Oh, you might see the SHOT Show and the Masked Police. Won't let you trade secrets out what happened there. You'll have to go to Patreon for that one. God, love them. We got Zoom call. By the way, we got a Zoom call going on tomorrow night with our patrons. Do that twice a month with them. Mix up the time just because we are international with our patrons. So trying to accommodate everyone's time. Training tips on there that's exclusive only for our patrons. And then, oh, by the way, you guys are going to get all the inside scoop for early deals, promos, whatever else we got going on, exclusive for you guys. So patreon.com/On the Range podcast. Don't forget to check out kelleydefense.com, warhog.com. Sign up for our newsletters. Oh, by the way, check out our industry partners page for all great savings, as Mark likes to say, to save you a boatload of cash with a bunch of different great companies. So,
yeah, man.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, wherever you are today, guys, thank you for making us part of it. The SHOT Show's done. The holidays are done.
Yeah.
We've been ramping up the content. We had our first OTR Vantage Point sports show, which I think was a success. Picked some games. We watched them together. We did an IG Live. A lot of fun. You know, if you guys are liking what you're doing, like Rick said, go to the Patreon. But at the very least, do us a favor and share these videos and audio shows. So, you know, Rick, there is a time where I thought that the NBA just couldn't get any more unlikable. And whoa, was I wrong. And we've done blogs about it. We've done shows about it. And it's just been, it's been crazy to see how they can just totally dismantle this organization where I was a big fan, huge fan. You know, you can remember back in the, the early 90s and the late 80s with Michael Jordan and all those great teams, Larry Bird and all that.
Larry Bird and the Celtics, man. That. I mean, they were a powerhouse.
Yeah.
You know,
it's amazing. And now it is just another example of letting the inmates run the prison, run the asylum. It's just, it's ugly. And another good shot. I tell you what, this past Christmas, excuse me, this past Christmas, football was on Christmas. Hugely affected the numbers for NBA because NBA used to own Christmas. You know, the NFL would always be on Thanksgiving Day, and then Christmas Day was always, NBA. No, hammered. They had 5 games on, and I think they barely crested 1 million views or something like that each game. And I think the Packers in another game just totally destroyed it. And we think it's more than just the sport. We think it's what we're going to talk about today.
No, 100% we're going to talk about it, right? Because, in my opinion, here's the bottom line. These entertainers, because that's what these athletes are, they're entertainers. People go to the game to be entertained. People buy their stuff. It's entertainment. But you think about it, right? I can't remember 80s and 90s, growing up, any of these teams taking political stances, political opinions. They just didn't, right? They went and played the game, and that was it. But now you're starting to see, like you said, kind of the inmates running the prison. And I'm going to give you a little insight into where these guys' minds are at. Privileged over the years to mess around with some different teams across the board. And in particular, I won't throw the team under the bus, but we're doing some stuff in a major city, happen to be working with, their team there. And, we're in there, listening to the coach kind of give the brief, for their upcoming game and who to watch and stuff like that. And he makes the comment, because we're in the room, how our two jobs are very similar. How we're both warriors or something like that, and I'm sitting there going, check it out, coach. You guys are getting paid millions of dollars to entertain people. You lose the game, all good. Y'all go home. We lose the game, somebody's not going home, or somebody's, plural, aren't coming home to their family. And I was disgusted that he would even make that comment. And then he quickly started backpedaling what he was saying. But this is what these guys think, right? They think somehow they're doing something more than entertainment. Nope, that's all you're doing. Great, you go out there, yes, football's a physical sport, don't get me wrong. Hockey at least throws punches and they all kind of beat each other up, right? But we won't get into apples and oranges right now. But I'm like, really? How about you guys understand your lane? And I think a lot of that has to do with the leadership from the top of the organization down to the individual teams, that you have some that are super pro military and don't boast any rubbish. I'll personally throw it out there. Mr. Kraft and the Patriots, those guys all took their time, to swing by, happen to be doing some stuff again in a city around Boston, obviously, out there with the Pats doing some stuff. These guys make, a pit stop after they were done doing their training session to shake each one of our hands, say, hey, thanks for your service. Awesome. The other team I was speaking of, nope. Coach up there talking about comparing us. We're both warriors. We're out there fighting. Yeah, dude. A little bit different fight. So I've been disgusted personally with professional sports for a while, because again, they're entertainers. Now, if these guys want to indulge in their First Amendment right on their own time, fine. That's your right as an American. I've got no problems with it. Your entertainment arena is not the place, in my opinion, for you to be boasting your causes and doing all your other stuff. Do it on your own time. Start a nonprofit. Do whatever you want. I don't care.
Yeah, and many of them do. To be fair, many of them do.
And yes, but the problem is it's still a majority, right? It's still a majority that you're seeing these outbursts, outlashes. Oh, we're going to do this. We're not going to do that. We're kneeling. We're not going to respect the flag. You know what? You don't respect the flag, no problem. Pack your crap, go somewhere else. I don't care. But do not, and this is the part that bothers me. You'll sit there and take the money. You'll enjoy the freedoms that blood has been shed for you to entertain, and you won't show a little respect. Because I just wonder, is there a guy sitting there watching that may not have all his body parts because he sacrificed them overseas? You might as well just go slap him in the face. I'd have more respect for you doing that than acting like a jackal. And that's my problem. I think the NHL has really been the only sport. I don't think they've had any type of
I've seen a couple, but not very many.
Okay.
And most, to be 100% honest, several of them were from Canada.
Okay.
So there's a couple Canadian players I know for a fact that were kneeling and all this other stuff. Come to our country, grab your truckload of millions, and then talk about how bad we are. So appreciate that, guys. And those are individuals. Those aren't a whole country. It's an individual. But the groundwork is that that we're dealing with folks who are super privileged, super entitled, and that's okay. And you know what? Your opinion is okay.
Sure.
But what's going on here with the NBA and what we're about ready to talk about is they are absolutely taking this to a position where they are running the business into the ground. Running the business into the ground. Their product is terrible, unwatchable. I can't even bring myself to watch a game anymore because of just listening to some of the rhetoric. And that's fine. That's fine. If you want to run your business that way and you want to give away a bunch of millions of dollars. But what we're going to talk about today is I think we've had the last couple years of this thrown in our face from the NBA, the social justice stuff, how bad everything needs to change here and how horrible it is here. And then we had somebody open up their mouth and say how they really feel. And it kind of, in my opinion, it's going to be an epiphany for a lot of folks. Like, okay, this is how it really is. They don't care about anything.
Nope.
The only thing they care about is the bottom line. And this is what we're talking about, guys. Those for you on video are going to be able to see this. I'm hoping that we don't get copyright, for this. If so, I'll edit it and put it back up. But here we go. I'm not even going to try to attempt to say this guy's name because I'll butcher it. But this is from Jerry Dunleavy's page. This little video. This is an part owner of
Yep.
the Golden State Warriors. And this is what he had to say about the Uyghurs people in China.
But again, nobody cares about what's happening to the Uyghurs. Okay, you bring it up because you really care, and I think that's nice that you care. The rest of us don't care. I'm just telling you a very hard.
Wait, you're saying you personally don't care?
I'm telling you a very hard, ugly truth. Okay, of all the things that I care about, yes, it is below my line. Okay, of all the things that I care about, it is below my line.
Disappointing.
Nobody cares about.
Again,
so, my initial reaction to that, Rick, is: do I personally care that this person, who I'm not going to even try to name or really want to, do I really care what his personal opinion is? No. That's absolutely fine. If that is your personal opinion, that you do not care about the genocide of this particular group of people that they're talking about, that's fine. But your whole organization, or your part owner in this organization, which you're allowing these employees to go out there and tell everybody how horrible I am, and how horrible this country is,
how horrible
we change this. Yeah. And then just totally, in all the atrocities that are occurring here, and totally ignore a active genocide.
Yeah.
I see where you're coming from. It's all crap. It's you're full of crap.
Dude, these guys, Mark, that's the prime thing, right? So old boy's a billionaire. Okay.
Yeah.
B with the billion.
Good for him. Hey, you know what? He went out and got it.
No, and I'm not sitting there saying anything, right? Cool. But what are you doing, dude? So this is below my mark. Okay. And I got it. How much reach change could we have in communist China? Who knows, right? Still a communist country. But my point being is now you're at that hypocritical where, we'll pick and choose this, and you want to badmouth us. And, I'm tired of these dudes, picking and choosing all this other stuff. It's like, hey, dude, I would just say, shut up. It's not your place. Don't be out there using your entertainment platform to boast your whatever you want. Just entertain. That's it. Because now you look like the hypocrite, in my opinion, is there and go, well, this matters, but this doesn't, or who cares? And I'm just like,
and I can see some people might say, well, maybe he's saying that if people really cared, they would be doing something. Okay, fair enough. But he didn't say that. He didn't say that. And that may be what he really feels. I don't know. But it's sure as hell, to me, it's like when someone just has that moment where they speak totally what's on their mind and totally truthful. That's how it felt to me.
Sure.
So it totally took away all this credibility that they have for how they're activists. And remember the quote this past year, it's more than basketball. Because people would say that, just play basketball, dribble and shut up. No, it's more than basketball. I need to tell you how horrible the police are. I need to tell you how horrible Mark Kelley is and what he's doing. And if you don't do this, then you're terrible. But you're totally ignoring genocide while you're taking in billions of dollars into the NBA.
Sure.
And that's a fact. That's a fact.
And I mean, here's the thing. Had he gone anything other than who cares, right? You could have went, okay, hey, man, don't have a good solution. Wish him the best, something. But when you sit there and go, who cares on one side, but then you care on the other side, it's like, no, dude, in my opinion, you don't, number one,
you don't care at all.
Don't care at all. Number one, it shouldn't even be brought into the game, right?
No.
The whole platform of bringing politics into entertainment is just rubbish. And we've talked about this before, I don't want to sit there and turn on the TV and watch some show and get indoctrinated, right? So you look at some of these shows, Yellowstone's a prime example. I don't know if you guys are watching that or not, but what you got to sit there and go, what is the drive to Yellowstone, right? Yeah, there's some good storytelling. Don't get me wrong. Those writers are spot on. I'm going to tell you this, man. I haven't seen one iota of any type of political inject on anything. It's just entertainment, right?
Yeah.
Good plots, good twists, good, boom. That's what the American people want. We don't want to get indoctrinated. It was kind of like, not to jump into my words of wisdom, but I've had a bunch of people that are truly concerned with where we're sitting at current day and age. And guys, I'm with you. But here's the thing: there's a bunch of saber rattling going on. There's a bunch of stuff going on. The world, the world is not a great place, right? People are jockeying for position, power, all this other stuff. Here's the thing: it boils down to this. You've got a couple different choices when it comes to the NBA, right? You can shut them off, you can ignore them, you cannot watch them, you can blow these guys off, you can cut, professional sports out. Personally, I care less about them. I'd rather watch college across the board because I think those kids have a better love for the game. But if you're not happy with what's going on, again, it goes back to what are you doing? Here's my thing: basketball is not my passion. NFL is not my passion.
Yeah.
I haven't called the commissioners, haven't said anything to those guys because you know what? I just won't take my time and watch their sports or watch their rubbish, right? That's just Rick. But if you're passionate, reach out to these people, man. Let them know, hey, man, what are you talking about? I don't approve of this behavior out on the field. I mean, you got your employees sitting there running amok. It's no different if I go somewhere else. And I think this is what people forget, right? They go into this whole entitlement piece. These guys are still employed, yes, by the team, but overall by the NFL or the NBA, right?
Yeah.
I guarantee there's got to be somewhere in there, somewhere in those contracts about acting the part of a fool. You do something to disgrace the team.
Yeah, they've totally abandoned that if there is.
Right. But that's my guess, right? Because who wouldn't have something in a work clause about embarrassing the family? And what you do in because it's like this, right? Think about the military, and I find it shocking we keep going back to this staple. When I was in, same thing with you, if we wanted to make political statements, go to political rallies, there was one rule: we couldn't be in uniform. We couldn't make statements in our uniform. What we did, as Rick or Mark, if you want to say the civilian or off duty, however you want to do it, not representing my rank, my position with the military, that was fine. So if Uncle Sugar's smart enough to figure that or put that clause in there, how come these quote unquote professionals
making
have not done
tens of millions of dollars a year,
gazillions of dollars?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's something in there, because let's think about it, right? I believe, and I can't recollect it, and maybe you can help me out. Do you remember back in the 80s and 90s, did the NBA players, did they used to get, after the game, did they used to get into suits? Do you remember?
Not sure. The coverage back then wasn't quite at what it is now, where you're like in their face all the time. Not sure. They didn't have those, great press conferences that, are required by the league anymore, like they are now. But it's hard to say. I can't remember that much.
I'll say this. I don't know what and again, I go back to the NHL. I don't know what the NHL is doing, but they're doing something. Because why would it be that post game, these guys are all showered up and in suits? You think they're doing that for their own accord? Highly doubt it. I guarantee somewhere in there, there's something in there. And so much to the point, right? It's just not something for the locker room and, okay, cool, I might get interviewed and then bolt. Nope. I give you a prime example. We're up at a Canes game, and it just so happens when the Canes depart the stadium, they don't mind signing autographs out of their cars. They're driving away. Now, granted, this is post-virus rubbish, but you look at these dudes, right? And they're still all in their suits. And you're like, It just, to me, it just represents your brand that much better or that much more professionally.
Yeah.
Than just looking like, a bunch of Joe Snuff the Ragman running around. So
yeah, they're no interest. They're the only brand they're interesting in doing is their own, and they're making more money outside of the game. Collecting money in shoe deals from the Communist Party. Let's face it.
Yeah.
People they forget that there's a lot of capitalism going on in China, but they're communists. Make no mistake about it. They're communist, and that's who they're dealing with. And communism is killing and performing genocide on this people. That's a fact.
But they always have.
Yeah.
That's the part that people don't get, right?
Yep.
Is let's look at the Soviet Union. Okay. We don't have a good number looking at the Soviets. We'll use a rough number because it's kind of in the mean of about 20 million people. Okay. That Stalin burnt down, his own people.
Yeah.
Now,
just during just during his.
Yeah, just during World War
tyranny.
II, right? Yeah. Just during his little reign there,
however many years it was.
Yeah, they're guessing it was, again, anywhere from 20 to 60. That's a big bolt, right? You look at Nazi Germany, and again, during the Holocaust, 6 million is the number there. And again, I'm not saying any loss of life. I'm not advocating.
Oh, that's a huge number.
I'm just trying to educate people, because it's very much in our face. And again, I'm not trying to downplay the Holocaust, right? But we get thrown that number, 6 million people, and trust me, any loss of life, I'm not going down those roads saying one's more than the other. But my point that I'm trying to drive at is 20 to 60 is a bold spectrum. That's a lot of people, right? Soviets didn't keep good record, just burning people down. You disagreed, whatever, you went away, be gone, right?
Yeah.
But my point being is the communist ideology is not one for the people. The communist ideology isn't this, hey man, go out and prosper and be successful. No way, dude. Go ahead and buck the system, right? They'll sit there and schwack your head off and go check off the bridge and nobody cares.
Yeah.
Just like going over to China. Okay, you don't think, go to China sometime. You don't think the old secret police are going to sit there and follow you? You don't think they're going to suck all your IT that you have out of you? You think you're just going to be able to sit there and, oh, let me go chat with these people and get their opinion and go get on Google? Nope. Watch the news. They're going to pump you exactly what they want you to know, propaganda-wise.
These doctors as tennis player, I mean, they're just gone. Just gone. They're doing it too well. They don't care. And the funny thing is you get these ESPN commentators and all these other guys, and that's another piece of this is the sports media. Man, they are all in. They are afraid to say anything bad concerning China, and they're not covering this jackass who's talking about how he doesn't care about genocide. That's fine. I don't. Do you think I expect just taking one look at that guy that he gives a rat's ass about anything but himself or making more money? No.
Nope.
But that's fine. That's fine. But don't have the ESPN courtside guys talking about someone that the police shot, say that they killed him when the guy is alive and well. By the way, he may not be quite the same, but he had it coming, the savage, and they'll lie about that, and then not even mention this other stuff. Where's that commentator? Where's Stephen Kerr? Where's Bill Walsh? Where's LeBron James? Where's all these guys at now when you got genocide going on over there and you're profiting from it? That's okay. Where's all the voices? They're so full of shit, and it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And people, they're just not going to put up with it. They're not watching it. I will never turn on the NBA ever again. Me personally. If someone wants to watch and enjoy it and then turn it off so they don't have to hear anybody say anything or whatever, hey, fine. I'm okay with that. If it's your passion, knock it out. But man, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, but let's change the word unbelievable to hypocritical, right?
Oh,
that's
absolutely.
Really that at the end of the day, Mark, that's what it is, right? So it just blows me away because there's, it's funny kind of circling back, talking word wisdom and stuff like that. I was working out a potential licensing deal with another company. One of my non-negotiables when my product was going to be, made, it's got to be made here in the U.S. I don't, you know what? It's not going overseas. It's not going to China. No, I want it made right here. I want to put that American flag on my product, go made in the USA. And that's what these guys don't get. They haven't really looked at, the only thing they're looking at is, cool, I can get it delivered cheaper than made here. Okay, cool. Are you even looking at what the Chinese government's all doing? How many attacks come on this country via cyber daily
Oh,
by communist China all the time, right?
Uncountable numbers.
How much IT property have they stolen from US businesses? How many billions, probably trillions of dollars have they ripped off the US?
Yeah.
And we sit there and people are blind to it, right? They manipulate their currency, they manipulate the media, they do everything. And all we care about is China.
Yeah. And I understand that we've kind of woven ourselves economically to the point where we are dependent in many ways with what comes out of that country. When people have to, go through some of that stuff, I'm not faulting them for that. It's not their fault. It's almost like,
we've made ourselves.
What's that?
We've made ourselves that way.
Oh yeah. No, this was done on purpose. It was one of those things like, you go to a pet store and you buy a little teeny alligator, and you feed it. And then next thing you know, in 15 years, that sumbitch is 12 foot long and you don't know what to fucking do with it. That's what we got going on. You
flush them down the toilet.
Well, hey, I've had some burritos and I've had some issues that was been about the exact same thing, trying to get that thing down there. But no, it's a mess. And so, products are going to come out of there and people are going to have stuff that's going to have that on. Look, we're not saying that. It's the way the circumstance is, and that's going to be tough to navigate, to try to expect someone not to have anything that comes out of there. But what we're saying is they are directly profiting and ignoring all good common sense and humanity despite it. And to come flat out and say it, it's not because, hey, I need some Tupperware. I need some Tupperware, and this is the best price and the best product I can get. And then you find out it was made in China. Hey, look, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about billions and billions of dollars that they are getting from these guys. They're saying what they want to say. They're putting on their uniforms what they want to put in, or not putting on their uniforms what they don't want to put on. And at the same time, they're calling me bad and I'm the problem, and all this other stuff in the United States needs to change. Hypocritical.
Yeah. 100%. And I would just tell the people this, right? Here's the deal, guys. To me, it's fairly easy. First and foremost, stop getting wrapped around the axle on what these idiots are doing, right? Who cares what they do? I really don't.
Yeah.
Here's the beauty. Here's the beauty. We live in the greatest country in the world. You can say what you want. You can do what you want for the most part. Can't be out there just blatantly murdering people. But the point being is we have some amazing rights in this country. If you don't like what you're doing, don't let it bother you. Just unplug from it, disengage, do whatever. Because that's the other part. I've had people, oh man, this is toxic. That's toxic. Dude, get away from it. But why? It's kind of like if you put your hand in boiling water and it gets burnt, you're not going to leave it in there. No. The body's natural reaction is to pull it out. Yet, somehow
we do that with relationships, though. I don't know. I don't understand that.
Well, but are they even relationships? Right? It's almost fake. So if I've got my phone, I control it. I control what I'm seeing. I control what I'm doing. And for people that say, "Man, I don't know what to do," block, cut it off, get off whatever social platform. Here's the deal. The only reason I'm on social, it's a marketing platform for my business. I never had the crap beforehand. I used to laugh at people, oh, let me post this. Let me post. Who cares, man? Who cares? If you're trying to communicate with your friends, family, loved ones, and that works for you, great. But if you're seeing something that's bothering you, disconnect. Or you've heard people go, man, I gotta unplug from social for a while. Well, dude, don't let it eat your time.
Yeah.
Figure out a strategy. Unfortunately, I will be straight up honest. That thing eats up too much of my time, because that magic box, man, it knows when you're on, it knows when you're off, it knows when you're not interacting with people.
Just
And
like
it's
Santa
funny,
Claus.
dude. Worse than
Mhm.
Santa Claus, right?
Yeah.
Because like I've seen, prime example, going out to shot, right? Busy running that. I slap out my Monday funny. And if you guys were listening, I didn't reply to you. I apologize, right? I just didn't have time this week to dedicate to social. So typically I give people replies, something like that. Shockingly, bunch of comments, no replies. And I see the old follower line dip below in the red. Like you've lost more than what you've gained. It's like,
Yeah.
And I kind of saw that throughout the week because I wasn't engaging. But that's my whole point, right? I got to do that just to keep people on there. Now, here's the thing. Do I take that much effort to see who they are? Are they actual people? Are they bots? Are they whatever? I don't know.
Yeah.
But here's the deal, guys. Slip away from it, man. You know what? If you're not reliant on that magic box for your business, step away. Honestly, pause point it. Don't go back to it. Pick up a good book, man. Read a book. Go read some book on history. You want to do some good reads? Go do a read on the Cold War. So little history lesson, right?
Yeah.
So today, 1961, for those of you that may or may not know, here, beautiful state of North Carolina, a B-52 Stratofortress had to sit there and dump. That's right. Let me repeat: dump. Drop. Well, they didn't necessarily drop them in a malicious way, but they had to get rid of their payload of 2 nuclear bombs because their aircraft was having dramas. Okay.
Was that today?
Yeah, it was today. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. 24 January, 1961. To the best of my knowledge, one of the nuclear pits is still missing out by Goldsboro, North Carolina. They're estimating it somewhere between 100, 200 feet deep, buried in the ground. Never recovered one of them. But it's just, that's one of so many different stories, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's a cool story. Yeah.
Dude, you want to see some cool stuff. Go read, some Cold War history, because it's history, right? Don't read it off the interwebs, because you don't know really what you're reading. What you read today, Google can swap tomorrow. But get you a good hard copy book. Do some reading, man. Educate yourself on history. Why? So we don't repeat the same mistakes we keep always making. But
well, I'd like we said before, we didn't know that the NBA could get any more unlikable, but it sure as hell has. And it's, for me anyway, I know people, it is their passion.
Sure.
I'm a football guy. I'm a college guy. I love the college sports, and we'll talk about the other stuff that's going on when the whole NCAA swimming is over with. But hey guys, tell us what you think about this episode. Make sure that you go to warhog.com and kelleydefense.com. And also make sure you go to, when you're on our pages, you check out all of our industry partners. They give you guys a lot of good promo codes. Go to the pages and check it out. And also go to check out patreon.com/On the Range podcast. Rick is going to have another vlog. You know what? I did one vlog, and then Rick has been killing it. And they're real good stuff.
You gotta. So here's the thing. This I'll do a quick plug for this next one. If you guys have never been to SHOT Show, want to get it inside, and again, it was a very unique SHOT Show. To the point of not everyone was there. We had some new individuals on the floor that were called safety officers, because nobody outranks safety.
Love those guys.
And wearing of your mask. You may or may not see me get accosted by one of these safety officers while I'm trying to vlog. It just.
We'll have to talk about that on the show once we get that vlog out, because I got one too. I got shaken down by a security guy out there at the casino.
Dude, I mean,
yeah. I was like,
Here's the thing.
hey, man, here you go. Whatever.
Yeah. Safety first. Whatever. I shot some freaking hand sanitizer in my mouth to make sure I was, I don't know, healthy, sterile. Whatever, dude. But no, man, they've been going good, kind of giving some insights to what we got going on. And again, it lets the patrons, I think, a little, hey, man, here's what we're doing. So appreciate you guys' support. And that's really what it is, man. You guys are supporting the show. Greatly appreciated. You look at Mark's new booming mic there. I mean, nice acoustics with it, Yeah. Some audio, some soft audio jams in the background just for your listening pleasure,
Yeah, and then, Rick, we got the stand-up desk thing going. Trying to stay fit, do our part. Not be so sedentary.
That's it, man. And then I lost my little, I moved my gripper.
I don't have anything for show and tell. We're going to have to bring that back. Everybody always liked that.
Where was I was trying to look here because I did some adjust. Oh, I dropped it. That's why. Watch this.
So, yeah, man, we were 500 on the picks, the NFL picks.
Oh, grip strength. Old school right here, huh? Bam.
Is that new or is that new technology or is that old?
I think it's kind of new. It says, for what it's worth, 22 to 88 pounds, is your little setting there. But it's nice, because you can work it. You can be sitting there, kind of work your finger, independently. I can swap it over to the other side, sitting there. So here's the beauty, right? I can be working the left side, working the mouse. I mean, dude, you got to open up this whole fitness thing. Take advantage when you can.
Do you remember those? Remember those old ones that was just like the cold rolled freaking steel? You had to be like,
hey,
Jim, Hacksaw Jim Duggan to be able to squeeze that thing.
Well, okay, so the new ones they have, they're called Captain Crunch, right? And these things are like Captain Crunch, right? And they're all metal construction. Has that little cylindrical wire thing, but don't fuck the cylindrical wire deal because I got one of those sitting out in the truck, and that thing is so old that one of the plastic handles is half broke off, and I've got to be careful because that thing like rotates around as I'm sitting there trying to work.
Break your arm. Well,
it's not so much break your arm; it's just the plastic where for the grip part is like busted, right? So if you get lazy with it, it'll start spinning on you. It's like, oh.
Dude, don't let that thing go, man. That thing might just keep, go through your windshield or something.
It might. But again, something as simple as your stupid freaking little gripper, right? Granted, I dropped mine on the floor, but the part being, put it on the desk, and you can sit there and dude, there's all kinds of crap you guys can do. I can sit there and do the War Hogg Flamingo with one foot as I'm sitting there working on my balance,
Dude, we need an idea like that. Cash in.
What's that?
Something like a widget like that.
Dude, let's not talk our IP out here in public. Next thing you know, the Chinese are listening. I should put my tinfoil hat because they're probably stealing all ideas right now. But yeah,
well, in case they are, I hate commies. You
ain't lying. Kill a commie for mommy. Remember that one?
Oh yeah. Anyway, guys, I hope you liked the show. Again, check out our web pages. Make sure you go to all of our platforms, hammer the like button, click that subscribe button, bang on that notification bell, give us a 5-star rating. At the very least, share these audio and videos. Once again, Rick, what a pleasure. Let's do it again very, very soon.
I'm sure we will, my friend.